Let's be brutally honest. Women don't fall for the guy who's the nicest. They don't choose the guy who's always available, always texting back immediately, or the one who puts them on a pedestal. And they definitely don't fall for the guy who tries too hard to win them over. In fact, if you've ever felt invisible to a woman, if she's ever ignored your messages, friend-zoned you, or acted like you didn't even exist, it's not because she's out of your league. It's not because you're not good enough. It's because somewhere along the way, you broke an unspoken rule of attraction. And here's the real shocker. Attraction isn't a choice. Women don't sit down and make a checklist of qualities before deciding who they're drawn to. It's emotional, it's subconscious, and it's completely out of their control. That's why you see a woman rejecting the guy who treats her like a queen, while falling head over heels for the guy who barely acknowledges her. Sounds unfair, right? But here's the good news. Once you understand how attraction actually works, you can flip the script. This isn't about manipulation or tricking anyone. It's about understanding why women are drawn to certain men and repelled by others. Most men think attraction is about looks, money, or status. But the truth? It's about presence, mindset, and behavior. Women are naturally drawn to men who trigger a specific emotional response, a response that makes them feel intrigued, excited, and deeply connected. And the best part? You don't need to be rich, famous, or ridiculously good-looking to make it happen. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to attract any woman, even if she's not interested in you right now. You'll learn why nice guys often finish last and what to do instead. The psychological triggers that create instant attraction. How to stand out in a world full of desperate men. And why confidence isn't just about what you say, but how you carry yourself. If you're ready to stop chasing and start attracting, keep watching. Because by the end of this video, you'll never see attraction the same way again. 1. Why being nice pushes women away. Most men believe that if they're nice enough, a woman will eventually like them back. They think that if they compliment her, agree with everything she says, and always put her first, she'll see them as the perfect guy. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Nice guys don't finish last because they're nice. They finish last because they're forgettable. Women don't reject nice guys because they prefer bad boys. They reject them because these men lack the qualities that trigger attraction. And one of the biggest attraction killers? Being too available and too easy to win over. When a man is overly nice, he often avoids disagreeing because he's scared of upsetting her. Tries too hard to prove he's a good guy. Puts her on a pedestal as if she's better than him. This doesn't create attraction. It creates boredom. A woman doesn't want a man who worships her just for existing. She wants a man who has his own life, his own standards, and a sense of mystery. Imagine two men texting a woman they like. Guy 1, the nice guy. Hey, I really enjoyed our conversation earlier. You're so amazing. Let me know if you ever want to hang out. Guy 2, the man she's attracted to. You're interesting. I'll give you that. I might let you convince me to grab coffee sometime. Who do you think she'll be more drawn to? Guy 1 sounds like a fan. He's already sold on her before she's even invested in him. There's no excitement, no challenge, just instant submission. Guy 2, on the other hand, stands out. He's playfully challenging her instead of desperately trying to impress her. He's making her work for his attention instead of handing it over for free. Women don't fall for men who treat them like delicate princesses. They fall for men who hold their ground, have their own opinions, and don't revolve their entire existence around them. If you want to be attractive, stop trying to be liked by everyone and start being a man who has his own standards, presence, and self-respect. That's what truly makes you stand out. 2. She won't respect you. If you chase her. One of the biggest mistakes men make is chasing women who don't show interest in them. They believe that if they just try harder, send more texts, give more compliments, prove their worth, she'll eventually realize how great they are and choose them. But here's the reality. The more you chase, the less she respects you. Women don't fall for men who beg for their attention. They fall for men who value themselves enough to walk away when they're not being valued. Think about it like this. When something is too easy to get, we don't value it. If you constantly pursue a woman who isn't interested, she won't think, "Wow, he must really like me." She'll think, "If he's this desperate, maybe he doesn't have many options." Men who chase endlessly send the message, "I'll do anything for your attention, even if you don't respect me. My happiness depends on you liking me. I have nothing better to do than wait for you." This is not attractive. It's needy, and neediness kills attraction. Let's say you meet a woman and she seems uninterested. The wrong move. Texting her constantly, trying to prove yourself, and waiting for her to decide if she wants you. The right move. Recognizing the lack of interest, pulling back, and shifting your attention elsewhere. Women respect men who aren't afraid to walk away. If she doesn't respond to your energy, you don't force it, you remove yourself. That's power. And here's the twist. When you stop chasing, something interesting happens. She starts wondering why. She starts noticing your absence. Because now, instead of being the guy who desperately seeks her validation, you become the guy who knows his worth. And nothing is more attractive than a man who doesn't need anyone's approval to feel valuable. 3. Confidence isn't optional. It's the rule. You've probably heard it 1,000 times. Just be confident. But let's be real. Most guys don't even know what that means. They think confidence is about having money, looking good, or pretending to be someone they're not. But true confidence? It's none of that. It's not about flexing, showing off, or trying to prove yourself. It's about the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, and the way you respond to situations. Women can feel when a man is truly confident versus when he's just acting like it. And let me tell you, they can sense insecurity a mile away. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly noticed a guy who just seemed in control? He wasn't the loudest. He wasn't trying to be the center of attention. But something about him made people respect him. That's confidence. It's not what you say. It's the energy you bring. Women don't fall for confidence because it looks cool. They fall for it because it makes them feel safe, excited, and drawn to you. Confidence tells them, this man knows who he is. This man doesn't need my approval. This man can handle whatever life throws at him. And that's attractive. Most guys think confidence means being cocky, talking about themselves too much, bragging, or acting like they don't care about anything. That's not confidence. That's insecurity in disguise. Real confidence is knowing you don't have to prove anything. You don't have to try hard. You don't have to impress anyone. You just have to own who you are and carry yourself with certainty. The truth is, you don't need to be perfect to be confident. You don't need to have it all figured out. But if you move through life like a man who believes in himself, who stands firm, who speaks with purpose, people, including women, will notice. Because confidence isn't just something you have, it's something you decide to be. 4. Attraction has nothing to do with looks. Too many men use their looks as an excuse for why they can't attract women. They sit around complaining, saying things like, if I were taller, richer, or better looking, I'd have no problems with women. Wake up. If attraction was just about looks, why do you see average-looking men dating stunning women, while good-looking guys struggle to even get a text back? Because attraction isn't about your face, your height, or your bank account. It's about something deeper, something most men completely ignore. Sure, being well-groomed helps, but looks alone don't create attraction. Women are drawn to men who make them feel something. And that feeling doesn't come from a jawline. It comes from the way you carry yourself. You can be the most handsome guy in the room, but if you act insecure, desperate, or try too hard to impress, you'll still get overlooked. Meanwhile, a man who knows how to command respect, keep a woman intrigued, and lead with confidence will win every single time. If you've ever said, women don't like me because I'm not good looking enough, let me ask you this. Have you ever actually improved your social skills? Have you worked on how you speak, move, and carry yourself? Have you ever developed a strong personality that makes women want to be around you? Most guys don't even try. They just sit there, blaming their genetics, instead of fixing their mindset. Women don't remember a man's face. They remember how he made them feel. They remember his presence, his energy, and the way he stood out from the rest. So stop whining about looks. Stop acting like you have no control. Start building the kind of presence that makes women take notice. Because when you do, you'll finally understand. Attraction isn't about what you have. It's about who you are. 5. Women want a challenge, not a servant. Most men think the best way to win a woman over is to give her everything she wants. They believe that if they always say yes, agree with her opinions, and go out of their way to please her, she'll appreciate them and eventually fall for them. Wrong. Women don't want a man who worships the ground they walk on. They want a man who challenges them, excites them, and keeps them on their toes. A man who has his own life, his own opinions, and his own sense of direction. Let's be real. When something is handed to you on a silver platter, do you value it as much as something you had to work for? No. And women feel the same way about men. When a guy is too eager, too available, and too predictable, there's no excitement, no curiosity, just a guy who's willing to bend over backwards for a woman who hasn't even earned his effort. Men who act like servants instead of high-value men make these mistakes. Always agreeing, even when they don't actually feel the same way. Being afraid to say no because they don't want to upset her. Acting like she's doing them a favor by spending time with them. This doesn't make a woman appreciate you. It makes her bored. A woman won't respect a man who lets her control everything. She respects the man who isn't afraid to challenge her opinions, make her work for his time, and stand firm in what he believes. This doesn't mean being rude or difficult. It means showing that you're your own person and that your attention is valuable. A woman should feel like she's earning your respect and time, not that she automatically deserves it just because she exists. Stop being a doormat. Stop thinking that saying yes to everything will make her like you. Start being the kind of man she actually has to win over. Because that's the kind of man she won't just like. That's the kind of man she'll chase. 6. The one trait that makes any man irresistible. Forget looks. Forget money. Forget trying to be the perfect guy. If there's one thing that instantly makes a man stand out from the rest, it's this: being unapologetically himself. Most men shape themselves around what they think women want. They try to act cooler, smarter, or more interesting just to impress her. But here's what they don't realize. Women can see right through it. And nothing is more unattractive than a man who is afraid to be real. A man who is unapologetically himself has a different energy. He speaks his mind without fear of judgment, doesn't change his personality to fit in, knows what he wants and doesn't beg for approval. And guess what? Women notice it immediately. They meet dozens of men who try too hard. Men who overthink every text. Men who agree with everything they say just to stay on their good side. But the guy who isn't afraid to be himself? That's the one they can't stop thinking about. Most men think, what do I need to do to make her like me? Instead, they should be asking, is she even good enough for my time? When you operate from a place of self-respect instead of desperation, everything changes. You stop seeking validation and start becoming the man women are naturally drawn to. If you want to be irresistible, stop filtering yourself. Stop thinking, will she like this? And start thinking, do I even like her? When a man has this mindset, he doesn't have to chase. He doesn't have to convince women to like him. They'll feel the energy shift and come to him. Because the truth is, women aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for a man who is completely comfortable in his own skin. And when you become that man, attraction isn't something you have to force. It happens naturally. 7. How to flip the script and make her chase. Most men spend their lives chasing women. They text first, plan dates, wait for responses, and constantly try to impress. But what if you could flip the script? What if instead of always chasing, women started chasing you? The truth is, attraction isn't about pursuing harder. It's about positioning yourself differently. Women aren't drawn to men who desperately try to win them over. They're drawn to men who are already valuable, already interesting, and already in control of their own lives. The moment a man starts over-investing, he loses power. He thinks if he just texts a little more, buys a few more gifts, or shows how much he cares, she'll finally see his worth. But instead, she pulls away. Why? Because when a man chases too much, he sends a clear message. I need you more than you need me. And that instantly lowers his value. Women don't want a man who's desperate to prove himself. They want a man who already knows his worth. And when a man lives his life with purpose and confidence, women naturally feel drawn to him because he's not begging for their attention. If you want to flip the script, stop thinking about how to make a woman like you and start focusing on yourself. Have a mission that excites you, something bigger than dating. Be a little unpredictable. Don't always be available or too easy to figure out. Set standards. Don't just accept any woman into your life because she's pretty. When a woman sees that you don't need her approval, something shifts. Suddenly, she's the one thinking about you, wondering why you're different from all the other guys who try too hard. The moment you stop chasing and start being a man she has to work for, attraction happens naturally. She starts texting first. She starts making an effort. Because now you're not just another guy begging for her time, you're the guy she can't stop thinking about. And that's when the game changes. Here's something most men don't want to hear. If a woman isn't interested in you, it's not because she's too picky. It's not because women only want bad boys. It's because on some level, you haven't given her a reason to be interested. That's the truth. And the sooner you accept it, the sooner you can change it. Women don't choose men based on logic. They choose based on how they feel around you. If you act like every other guy who chases, who overinvests, who makes her the center of his world, she won't feel excitement, intrigue, or desire. She'll feel bored. And the harshest reality? If you act like a fan, she will treat you like one. The difference between the man she ignores and the man she can't stop thinking about isn't luck, money, or looks. It's presence. It's energy. It's the way he carries himself, communicates, and moves through the world with confidence. Stop thinking attraction is something you chase. It's something you create. And it starts with not trying to convince a woman to like you. If she's not interested, you move on. Simple. Focusing on yourself first. A man with purpose and direction doesn't need to beg for attention. Understanding that women are drawn to the way you make them feel, not just what you say or do. At this point, you have two choices. Keep making the same mistakes, keep chasing, keep being ignored, or step into your power, change the way you present yourself, and start attracting instead of begging. If you've ever found yourself stuck in the friend zone, if you've ever felt like no matter what you did, women didn't see you the way you wanted, drop a comment below. Tell me about your experience. I'll be reading, and I might even respond to you personally. Because this isn't just about attraction. This is about transforming the way you see yourself as a man. And once you do that, everything else falls into place.